Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome to episode 24, part 12 of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we began constructing a brand new middle course main line to basically travel along the tracks of our rival, basically, to reach this factory here in Champaign. We need to get white wine made pronto, as we really need to get the rest of these deliveries done. As we still need to deliver loads of, well, white wine, we still have to deliver loads of machinery, we still have to deliver cigars, we still have to deliver loads of oil, and we still have to deliver loads of clothing. Thankfully, though, with all of our routes and services all set up, it shouldn't be too difficult to complete those tasks. Right now, we need to produce oil, and we need to set up another oil train. We'll basically set up the oil train on track 2. We'll travel along this freight line, and we'll drop it off here on track 3. As track 7 is being reserved for the loads of, to pick up machinery. To machinery. Oh, not that. I meant to say sugarcane oil. And we'll also need to set up a trucking route to deliver loads of oil into town. Now, according to the schematics, the most oil is located within this region, so we picked up that load and drop it off here on Franklin Street. This will be Truck Service C. Oh, I have 2 R's on that. Change this to green. Full load, 10 minutes. Speaking of which, I also need to expand this freight depot here. I need to have plenty of room to unload my car, to keep cargo in storage until it needs to be taken. Alright, that will basically store over 1,075 units. It's all set. Let's basically get some wagons in service. Alright. Now, in order to carry oil, I'll need these steamed power tractors. We'll basically just use the one flatbed because it's a short distance. It's not gonna basically cut into my profits that badly. Alright, with that done, we'll also need to copy the train that's used on this oil service. That's basically 460 number 71, which is a coal burner. Guess I'll have to basically clone that one and get another 460 that has a number that's not 71. Let's see. Let's put it at 560 million and see what happens. Do we have enough money to basically clone it? Alright. But we'll have to replace this engine with something else. Let's see. Let's go to coal-burning Central Pacific 10-wheeler. Let's put down number 62. See if that works. If it has the Central Pacific lettering, I am not using it. Alright. Train 52 is out and put into service. And our cargo ship has just arrived to pick up loads of cotton in. Oh my goodness, it's almost fully loaded. That's good to hear. So, with a full load of cotton, it will just travel down the Mississippi back to New Orleans to be processed into clothing, which is great. Speaking of which, we still have a lot of commodities to transport. Let's see. we still have passengers that still need to travel to the fair. Freight train G is supposed to pick up some corn, but we need to set up a new freight train to pick up loads of meat. We need to have one train carrying meat into Chicago for the food processing plant. You'll be going on platform 5. No, wait. Platform 4. Have a full load. 10 minutes. You will be painted blue. And this will be Freight V1, which will be carrying meat. Now then, let's see. I'll need a nice. Since that train is since my corn train is going to carry at least 420 units fully loaded, I should at least get a train carrying at least some commodities available. We'll go at 360 and add a caboose. How much will this cost me? $22 million on the spot. Ay. I think it's probably best until we basically earn enough money. We aren't paying off my debt. We're not going to basically buy the other railroad until we have the money available to buy it outright. All right. Vehicles are still traveling along at a good, reasonable pace. Train 32 has finally have a full load of sugarcane, and is now going to head down the main line towards Memphis to be processed into oil. All the while, our steel mill is at full production, and steel is currently being produced. Train 2048 is making its way into St. Louis right now to pick up its load. This train doesn't have a whole bunch of corn on board. This farm is still waiting for the arrival of the train to pick up its grapes. And our first train is now traveling on the new line leading to its destination. However, it's going to take a while for this other train to have permission to travel on this line, because it still needs time to basically reach its destination. So, yeah. The World's Fair still doesn't have a whole bunch of people coming in, but 23 passengers aboard this express. Not to mention, I think the game is starting to lag again with so many vehicles on the map, so I'll have to basically cut down the speed of which my vehicles can go at. It's not ideal, but if I want to basically keep the game at a nice, silky, smooth frame rate, I'll have to do what's necessary. There's still rice being brought. That's good. The food processing plant still needs a lot more commodities brought in. The iron mine is at full production. And, let's see, train N is still basically doing well. There's a train with over 300 units of tobacco leaves on board. Coal train L2 is basically where? Oh, it's on its way back. What about this one for G2? Nothing. What about this one for G3? 162 units. That's pretty good. Let's see. 36 people waiting for the Eastern Route Express, while this one only has 10 people waiting. But it's the only express train that's been making a profit so far, which is good. Speaking of which, I just realized there's no bus service in this area. I'll have to set up a new one. Let's see. Bus service. Oh. And let's basically put another pair of stagecoaches on it. Because since this station is not connected to any residential, commercial, or industrial buildings, nobody will want to basically ride a train on where they cannot access their homes, shops, or their places of work. As these stagecoaches will basically shorten the time. Oh, I forgot about Train Q, which is supposed to pick up lumber. Speaking of which, how's the industries in Memphis going? Oh, the lumber industry is fully active now, with almost all of its logs bound for only one destination. Let's see. Still no cigars yet, but it hasn't basically produced anything? That doesn't make any sense. Well, at least, however, with that 300 units of, well, tobacco leaves, it should be different. Speaking speaking of which, let's have a look at some of our vehicles. Let's see, which one has the least amount? Truck Service C is the least amount, and the most earning is Truck Service A, delivering cotton. Trolley Service A2 is making the most, which is located in New Orleans. My trains, the least amount of money being made is my coal train, and the most is my train carrying grain from Arkansas to New Orleans. And that's basically it. Compared to my ship, wherever it is on the river. Oh, there it is. Wow, the ship is so much better than the other steamboats. It's able to quickly travel all that time while we were busy bantering. Alright, just cross that bridge, go from Memphis, and then just head all the way through up. There's a lot of people wanting to ride my express train to Memphis Central Station. Well, my express has 0 passengers. Maybe it's because the station here is a little too far from the mains. I need to basically have a better way of delivering people into town. Let's see. Let's basically set up a new bus route that will cover these areas that's completely different from the other one. Let's see. This one is served by bus service N, so this will be N1. And the new bus service that will be serving this station will be known as N2. Bus service N2. Change it to yellow. Place down this. Oh, here comes the express. And we'll basically place down about 6 of these. Put them to work on bus service N2, which will now pick up the passengers brought in by these trains and bring them into town. I think I'll basically save the new commuter trains that will be going between St. Louis to Peoria and from Peoria to Chicago for a little bit. Same for the one from Kankakee to Chicago and Kankakee to Evansville, as well as from Evansville to Murray. Which this train is making its way back to pick up more loads of clothing, which, thankfully, with the arrival of the ship, has basically allowed the factory to start production again. And let's see how much money it made. $3.25 million. That's a pretty good amount of money. Our debt is still bad, but I think we might be able to counteract it now with all these new services installed. Alright. Speaking of which, where is that other wait a minute. Oh, I put this on that. It needs to be on sugarcane oil 2 instead. And its platform is not platform 4, it's platform 2. Oh wait, no. It's platform 2 here at St. Louis Yard. And in Chicago, it's going to be on track 3. I think I got myself really confused on the routing system. Speaking of which, where is that sugarcane oil train? The second one. Oh, it's still here, waiting permission to go up the main line. I think I might have to set up another set of signals. It's slow, but at least it alleviates the need of traveling on this section. Speaking of which, now with the arrival of cigars, logs. Oh no, tobacco leaves, it's now producing cigars, which is good. Plantation is still booming. There's so much grapes waiting to be picked up. Thankfully, now with that train on that line, the one that's supposed to travel on this route can finally travel on it. And thankfully, it's waiting to pick up its load. It just needs 1 unit of grapes to basically make 1 unit of white wine. Let's see. 528 million? That's not what I was expecting. Where is that train to pick up the steel? Ah! I have to climb up the hill slowly because of its load. And where's that train bound to pick up the lumber? Oh, it's on its way back now. Alright. It just needs a little more clothing to complete this task for Kentucky. Speaking of which, where is that train now? Oh, it's still making its way back. But there's plenty of clothing waiting to be picked up. That is, if it hasn't been taken already by the main line, by this other railroad. Oh yeah, I was going to use that to deliver building materials into town. I might do that as soon as we take down this other railroad and just rip it all up. Because I want to have a clean slate for my once I take down my competitors. There's enough room for another ship to carry cotton. Might as well buy another one. There's 27 people now at the fairgrounds, I believe. Oh! Dang it! The exposition grounds are gone. And Train N2 now has no future. Might as well get rid of that service. Get rid of that. Just relabel it to N only. And thankfully, the meat could still go to its final destination itself, which is the Chicago food processing plant. To avoid any confusion of sending it into this, the old fairground sidings will now be removed. Kind of a shame, really, because I was really hoping to bring out some more commodities, deliver more commodities, and make more money. However, we do have the steam-powered tarpaulin trucks, but who would need them because we have those steam-powered traction engines instead. At least my fast freight train of steel is now moving. Still, we need better rolling stock for my freight trains. And this train is already full to the brim with grapes. Let's see. We'll need to deliver fuel for the factories. Speaking of which, has our train of oil arrived yet? No, wait. Where is that train of sugarcane? Oh, it's on the bridge just before Poplar Bluff. 71.3 thousand. This logging train has basically made only about 11.4 every once in a while, because I set it to full load infinite time. What else? Well, at least our first loads of steel have arrived. How much did this train make? About $13.6 million, which should take a bite out of our loan, which is now down to 462. Seems like we're finally making enough money to basically pay back our loan little by little. And a train of milk has just left to be delivered to New Orleans. Of course, it's using the freight bypass track to avoid the congestion at the Memphis Central Station. Though, I don't think anybody's even used these two tracks here yet. Now, where is that train carrying the flat cars for the lumber? Oh, there it is, just heading into the Memphis Tunnel now. What else? Well, it's only 31 miles an hour, but that's the same speed as the freight trains on this railroad. It seems like these freight trains now are in gridlock because something's wrong with the signaling system. Yep, the signaling system is not working properly. All the trains have stopped along the entirety of the main line. So there's no passengers nor freight being delivered. I'm kind of surprised, really. It worked so well in the beginning. But now, my trains have no way of entering and exiting Chicago or making any of their daily runs. So basically, I shut down the railroad completely. Brought them into bankruptcy. Surprising. Very, very surprising. Yet there's still goods and hundreds of people waiting to board these trains, even though there's no scheduled trains anymore. Well, if the trains are stuck, I guess all the stuff that's being delivered is now all officially mine. Speaking of which, how much will this train of grapes be worth as soon as it arrives? Who knows, because once this bridge will be completely removed once we take over this section of track. That train that was supposed to wait for the white wine has left already, but it should be coming back as soon as once this factory starts producing its commodities. And the delivery receipt for these grapes will be 10.9 million, which will basically take out some more of my debt, which I'll repay back as much as I can, now down to 400. So, with that all being said, I think that we have reached a good ending point for this episode. So, if you enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play at Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my on-site schedule. And, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!